dream. It doesn't arrive suddenly. It's not some random accident. It's built slowly, day after day, out of sleepless nights, breaks you never take, and that constant inner voice telling you to do more, always more. At first, you convince yourself it's just a phase, that a weekend of rest will fix it. But the signs start to pile up: trouble focusing, snapping at people more easily, the constant sense that you're behind on something, even whine you re-giving your all. And maybe the cruelest part is the creeping cynicism, losing excitement for the things that once brought you meaning. Christina Maslach, one of the world's leading experts on burnout, describes this state as a deep emotional erosion, where even your professional identity begins to unravel. It's like every task you complete quietly drains another piece of your essence. And the most dangerous part, on the outside, you're still functioning, sending emails, sitting in meetings, hitting deadlines, but on the inside, you feel like you're barely surviving. That gap between what you show and what you truly feel leaves an empty space inside you. Because while everyone assumes you're fine, the exhaustion keeps growing, waiting for the right moment to collect its debt. And when that moment comes, it doesn't give you a warning. Burnout doesn't just steal your energy, it begins to distort the way you see yourself and the world around you. At first, it's subtle. You start to notice that no matter how much you accomplish, it never feels like enough. The praise from others barely registers, while even the smallest criticism echoes in your mind for hours, maybe days. You tell yourself to push harder because slowing down feels like failure, and little by little, your self-worth becomes tangled in your productivity. Christina Maslach warns that this mindset is one of burnout's most dangerous traps, the belief that your value is measured only by what you produce, not by who you are. It's a silent exchange where you trade your identity for performance without realizing the cost. You begin avoiding things you once loved because they feel like distractions from more important work. Relationships suffer, your patience shortens, you stop seeing people as people and start seeing them as interruptions or obstacles. The emotional distance grows, not because you want it to, but because you simply don't have the energy left to care in the way you used to. And deep down, a quiet fear begins to take root. The fear that you might never get that energy back, that maybe this tired, detached version of you is the new normal. That fear is what keeps so many people stuck, convincing themselves that there's no way out, when in reality, there is. But the first step is recognizing that burnout isn't a sign of weakness, it's a warning signal, a call to realign before you lose even more of yourself. One of the most overlooked truths about burnout is that it doesn't always hit you all at once. Sometimes it creeps in, like a shadow, slowly convincing you that this constant state of exhaustion is just part of life. You wake up already tired, and the day hasn't even begun. Your to-do list becomes a mountain that you climb over and over, only to find it somehow grown taller overnight. Christina Maslach points out that this isn't simply about having too much work, it's about the imbalance between what you give and what you get back in return. When your effort constantly outweighs your rewards, whether those rewards are recognition, rest, or a sense of purpose, your internal balance begins to collapse. You start running on empty, telling yourself it's temporary, that next week will be easier, but next week comes and nothing changes. That's when the mental fog sets in, your focus slips. Small decisions feel overwhelming, and even moments of joy are dulled. It's like your emotional bandwidth has been hijacked, leaving you with only enough energy to function, not to truly live. The danger here is that the longer you accept this as normal, the harder it becomes to imagine a life outside of it. And yet, somewhere deep inside, a voice is still whispering that you were meant for more than just survival, that the fire you once had isn't gone. It's just buried. Burnout often wears a mask. It doesn't always show up as exhaustion or frustration. Sometimes it arrives quietly, as a slow fading of passion for the things you once loved. Christina Maslach calls this emotional exhaustion the silent collapse, when the spark that once drove you begins to dim, and even tasks that once brought you joy feel like heavy burdens. You start operating on autopilot, going through the motions, meeting expectations, but without truly feeling present in your own life. The colors fade, the excitement dulls, and you catch yourself wondering when exactly you stopped caring. This isn't laziness, it's a signal that your emotional reserves have been drained. It's your mind's way of protecting you from constant overextension. But here's the danger. The longer you stay in this state, the more disconnected you become, not just from your work, but from yourself. You begin to forget what genuine enthusiasm feels like, and if you're not careful, you start believing that this numbness is permanent. It's not, but the path back requires recognizing this stage for what it is, a warning sign, not a personal failure. Because reclaiming your energy begins with the belief that you're still capable of feeling that. Fire again. Toxic environments are like slow poisons. They don't always hit you all at once, but over time, they erode your energy, your confidence, and your sense of self. Christina Maslach's research shows that burnout isn't just about workload. It's about the relationships and surroundings that either fuel you or drain you. Being around people who constantly complain, belittle your efforts, or dismiss your needs doesn't just make the days harder, it makes recovery almost impossible. You start absorbing their negativity without realizing it, carrying it home, and letting it settle into your own thoughts. Soon, their pessimism becomes your inner voice, telling you that nothing will change, that pushing forward isn't worth it. But the truth is, your environment matters more than you think. A single conversation with someone who believes in you can reignite hope, while one toxic interaction can set you back for days. Protecting your mental and emotional space isn't selfish, it's survival. It's not about cutting people out recklessly, but about creating boundaries that allow you to breathe, to think, and to rebuild. If you've been feeling trapped, ask yourself, is it really you who's burned out, or the environment that's been burning you down? Distraction is the silent killer of ambition. It doesn't storm in loudly, it creeps in quietly, stealing minutes, then hours, until entire dreams are left waiting in the shadows. In today's world, where every notification pulls at your attention and every screen demands your eyes, focus has become one of the rarest and most valuable skills. Christina Maslach reminds us that burnout isn't only about doing too much, it's also about being pulled in too many directions, never allowing your mind to settle on what truly matters. When you try to split yourself between endless tasks, you dilute your energy, and with it, your sense of progress. The brain thrives when it can go deep, when it can pour itself fully into one meaningful action without interruption. But that means guarding your attention like a treasure. It means learning to say, no, not just to people, but to distractions that feel harmless yet slowly rob you of momentum. Every moment you spend scattered is a moment you're not building the future you want. Imagine what could happen if you devoted even an hour a day to pure, undistracted effort. No multitasking, no quick scrolls, just you, your mind, and your mission. The results would compound in ways you can't. Yet imagine the burnout you feel might begin to loosen its grip. The truth is, everything we've explored here is more than just advice, it's a roadmap for protecting your energy, breaking free from burnout, and finally creating the life you deserve. But knowledge alone won't change anything. Action will. Every step you take, no matter how small, moves you closer to the version of yourself that's focused, resilient, and unstoppable. If this message spoke to you, then you already know you're ready for more conversations like this, ones that challenge you, inspire you, and keep you moving forward. So make sure you subscribed, because the next video might just be the one that shifts everything for you. And if you felt even a spark of motivation today, tap that like button. It tells me this is the kind of content you want, and it helps us reach more people who need this reminder right now. Your journey is just beginning. Let's keep walking it together.